Listen, I need to tell you about something that happened 3 weeks ago that the pressure washing industry is praying you never hear about. A woman in Jacksonville, Florida, let's call her Sarah, woke up on a Tuesday morning to a certified letter from her HOA. Her vinyl siding had turned green, black streaks running down from the gutters, algae blooming across the north-facing wall like some kind of biological crime scene. The letter gave her 14 days to fix it or face a $250 weekly fine. She called 3 pressure washing companies. The quotes came back: $650, $800, and $925. For a 1,800 square foot ranch house, one guy told her it would take his crew 4 hours with their commercial-grade equipment. Another said she'd need it done twice a year to keep it under control. She was about to write the check. Then her neighbor, a retired industrial chemist, walked over with a gallon jug and a $15 garden sprayer from Home Depot. He mixed 3 cups of this liquid with water, added a squirt of dish soap, and sprayed her entire house in 20 minutes. 60 seconds after the spray hit the siding, the green started turning white. The black streaks began dissolving like they were never there. By the time he finished the second wall, the first wall was already clean. No scrubbing. No 4,000 PSI commercial equipment. No 4-man crew. Just chemistry doing what chemistry has done since 1789. The liquid cost $2.87. The contractors and equipment manufacturers want me to tell you this isn't professional advice. Of course it isn't. It's a survival guide for your bank account in 2026, when inflation has made every household expense a potential financial crisis. Call a professional if you still trust the people whose entire business model depends on your continued ignorance of basic chemistry. But if you're tired of being told you need to rent industrial equipment to solve problems that humans have been solving with simple oxidation for over 2 centuries, then you're in the right place. Because what I'm about to show you isn't just about cleaning your house. It's about understanding why an entire multi-billion-dollar industry has spent decades convincing you that the solution to organic growth requires machines that cost thousands of dollars and annual service contracts, when the truth has been sitting in the pool supply aisle the entire time. Before we go any further, I need you to do something. I need you to hit that like button right now. Not because I'm asking nicely. Because every single like on this video tells YouTube's algorithm that this information, this knowledge that saves people hundreds or thousands of dollars, matters more than the promoted content from pressure washer manufacturers spending 6 figures a month on advertising. The algorithm sees DIY content that threatens corporate revenue streams and it buries it. Your like is a vote that says this matters. Do it now. And drop a comment. Tell me the highest quote you've ever received to wash your house. Because I'm building a database. I want to document exactly how much money is being extracted from homeowners for a service that chemistry can perform for less than the cost of a fast food meal. Now, let me tell you what they don't want you to know. The chemical we're talking about is sodium hypochlorite. If that sounds familiar, it's because you've heard it called by its common name, bleach. But we're not talking about the 6% concentration you buy in a plastic jug at the grocery store for laundry. We're talking about pool shock, the concentrated stuff, 12.5% sodium hypochlorite that pool supply stores sell in gallon jugs for $12 to $15. A gallon makes 4 full house treatments. That's $3 per application. The pressure washing industry has built a brilliant lie. They've convinced homeowners that the problem is physical, that you need to blast away mold and algae with thousands of pounds of pressure per square inch. They sell you on the theater of it, the roaring gas engine, the industrial wand, the dramatic before and after where a trained professional transforms your filthy house into a pristine showcase. They've turned a chemical problem into a mechanical spectacle, and they're charging you $500 to $1,000 every time they perform this show. But here's what they're not telling you. Here's the secret that the soft wash contractors know, but the pressure washing guys will never admit. The high pressure water doesn't kill anything. It removes the visible growth, sure. But at what cost? When you hit vinyl siding or concrete with 3,000 to 4,000 psi of water pressure, you're not just cleaning the surface. You're creating thousands of microscopic abrasions, tiny tears in the polymer structure of vinyl, microfractures in the crystalline matrix of concrete. These aren't visible to the naked eye, but under magnification, the surface that looked smooth before the wash now looks like a battlefield. And guess what loves to colonize textured surfaces with lots of tiny grooves and crevices? Mold, algae, lichen. Every organic nightmare that feeds on moisture and organic matter. The pressure washing industry isn't just failing to solve your problem. They're engineering your next problem. They're creating the perfect growth medium for next year's infestation. It's not incompetence. It's genius. It's built-in obsolescence applied to your house. They're farmers, and your siding is their field. They plant the harvest every spring when they tear up your surfaces with high pressure, and they reap the profit every spring when you call them back because the green came back even faster than before. Let me show you the math on this scam, because numbers don't lie. The average single-family home in America needs washing once a year minimum if you're using pressure washing. Twice a year if you live in a humid climate like Florida, Georgia, or the Carolinas. Let's be conservative and say once a year at $500 per wash. Over 10 years, that's $5,000. Over 20 years. Roughly the lifespan of vinyl siding. That's $10,000 per house. There are approximately 82 million single-family homes in the United States right now in 2026. If even half of those homes are paying for annual pressure washing services, we're looking at 41 million homes times $500. That's $20.5 billion annually. $20 billion flowing into an industry that's solving a chemical problem with mechanical force while simultaneously creating the conditions for repeat business. Now let's look at the chemistry solution. A gallon of 12.5% pool shock costs $12 to $15. That gallon, properly diluted, treats a 2,000 square foot house 4 times. Let's round up and say you buy a fresh gallon every year just to be safe, even though the chemical is shelf-stable for years if stored properly. $15 per year. Over 20 years, that's $300. You've saved $9,700 compared to professional pressure washing per house. Multiply that savings across 41 million homes. That's $397 billion over 20 years that stays in homeowners' pockets instead of funding an industry built on engineered ignorance. $397 billion. That's not a business model. That's a heist. But you want to know the real crime? The chemistry I'm about to explain to you isn't new. It isn't some breakthrough discovery from a Silicon Valley lab. This is old knowledge. Ancient knowledge. The kind that used to be common sense before corporations figured out how to monetize our forgetting. Sodium hypochlorite was first produced by French chemist Claude Louis Berthollet in 1789. Yes, you heard that right. 1789. The same year the French Revolution started. Berthollet was trying to improve the bleaching process for textiles, and he discovered that passing chlorine gas through a sodium carbonate solution created this incredibly powerful oxidizing agent. Within decades, it was being used across Europe, not just for bleaching fabric, but for sanitation, for disinfection, for killing the organic matter that spread disease. When cholera epidemics ravaged European cities in the 1830s and 1840s, sodium hypochlorite solutions were used to disinfect water supplies and clean contaminated surfaces. John Snow, the physician who proved that cholera spread through contaminated water in London, recommended chlorine-based disinfection as part of the solution. This wasn't experimental medicine. This was proven chemistry saving lives by destroying organic matter at the cellular level. The mechanism is simple and brutal. Sodium hypochlorite is an oxidizer. When it contacts organic material, bacteria, algae, mold, mildew, it penetrates the cellular wall and disrupts the molecular bonds that hold the organism together. It denatures proteins. It destroys cell membranes. It oxidizes the organic compounds until the organism literally falls apart at the molecular level. This happens in seconds to minutes depending on concentration and contact time. Algae and mold on your house siding? They're organic organisms with cellular structures just like the cholera bacteria that Berthollet's chemistry destroyed in the 1800s. The same oxidation reaction that disinfected London's water supply in 1854 will melt the green slime off your vinyl in 2026. The chemistry hasn't changed. Only the price we're being charged to ignore it. The military knew this. World War II field manuals included instructions for water purification using calcium hypochlorite tablets, the same family of chemicals as sodium hypochlorite. Every soldier carried them. When you're occupying territory without reliable water infrastructure, you don't build a treatment plant. You drop a tablet in your canteen and let chemistry do the work. The U.S. military distributed millions of these tablets because the science was settled. Hypochlorite kills organic pathogens reliably, cheaply, and quickly. During the Pacific Campaign, when troops were fighting in humid, tropical environments where mold and mildew destroyed equipment within days, they used diluted hypochlorite solutions to clean canvas tents, preserve leather boots, and sanitize food preparation areas. The same chemistry that keeps your pool water clear kept soldiers alive in the South Pacific. And it cost pennies per application even in 1944. So why don't contractors tell you this? Why does the pressure washing industry act like high-pressure water is the only solution? Because you can't patent sodium hypochlorite. It's been in the public domain for over 2 centuries. Anyone can make it. Anyone can sell it. Anyone can use it. There's no intellectual property moat. No subscription model. No proprietary equipment that only certified technicians can operate. It's just chemistry, and chemistry belongs to everyone. But a $3,000 commercial pressure washer, that's patentable technology. That requires training, certification, insurance. That creates an entire ecosystem of equipment manufacturers, parts suppliers, service contracts, and professional operators. That's an industry. That's recurring revenue. That's a business model you can take public and sell to investors. The truth is cheap. The lie is profitable. Before I show you exactly how to do this yourself, I want to tell you about something I've put together. It's called the Complete Homeowner Survival Vault. It's everything I've learned from years of investigating these industries and talking to chemists, contractors who went rogue, and old-timers who remember when this knowledge was common. The real chemistry of deck restoration. How to seal concrete properly. Rust removal without sandblasting. The chemicals that kill weeds better than commercial services. All the maintenance tasks where you're being overcharged for simple solutions. The link is in the description. Now let me show you exactly how to do this. Pay attention because this is the part they charge $500 for. You need 3 things: sodium hypochlorite solution, a surfactant, and a delivery method. For the sodium hypochlorite, you want pool shock at 12.5% concentration. This is sold as liquid chlorine at pool supply stores, some hardware stores, and online. A gallon typically costs $12 to $15 in 2026. Do not use concentrated granular pool shock. That's calcium hypochlorite, and while it works, the mixing process is more complicated. Stick with liquid sodium hypochlorite. For the surfactant, you want regular Dawn dish soap. Blue Dawn specifically seems to work best based on field testing, though other dish soaps will function. You need very little, just a few ounces per gallon of mix. A surfactant reduces surface tension so the solution spreads evenly and penetrates better. The fancy name makes it sound exotic. The reality? It's just dish soap. The same stuff you use on plates is what soft wash companies call their proprietary surfactant blend. For the delivery method, you want a pump sprayer, not a spray bottle, not a hose end attachment. A proper pump sprayer with a wand. The $15 to $25 garden pump sprayers at any hardware store work perfectly. You want at least a 1-gallon capacity, preferably 2 gallons so you're not constantly refilling. Here's the mix ratio that the soft wash industry guards like a trade secret. For typical residential applications with moderate growth, you mix 1 part pool shock to 3 parts water. That's a 3:1 water to bleach ratio, which gives you roughly a 3% to 3.5% sodium hypochlorite solution. For heavier growth or stubborn black streaks, you can go as strong as 1:1, giving you a 6% solution. For light maintenance cleaning, you can dilute to 5:1 or even 10:1. Let me be extremely clear about safety here, because this is real chemistry and chemistry demands respect. Sodium hypochlorite is corrosive. It will damage plants. It will kill grass and shrubs. It can irritate or burn skin and eyes if you're careless. You need to take basic precautions that any pool owner already knows. Wear old clothes that you don't mind bleaching or staining. Wear chemical-resistant gloves. Nitrile gloves from any hardware store work perfectly and cost $5 for a box. Wear eye protection. Safety glasses minimum, goggles are better if you're spraying overhead where drips might fall. Wet down any plants, bushes, or grass near the area you're spraying before you start. The water creates a temporary protective barrier and dilutes any overspray. After you're done spraying the house, rinse the plants thoroughly with clean water. Most landscape plants can handle brief exposure to diluted sodium hypochlorite if you rinse them promptly. Do not mix sodium hypochlorite with other chemicals unless you know exactly what you're doing. Specifically, never mix it with ammonia or acids. Mixing bleach and ammonia creates toxic chloramine gas. Mixing bleach and acids creates chlorine gas. Both will send you to the hospital or worse. This isn't theoretical danger. People die from accidental chemical mixing every year. Treat this with respect. The application process is straightforward. Fill your pump sprayer with your diluted solution. Add a few squirts of Dawn, maybe 2 to 3 ounces per gallon of mix. Close the sprayer and shake it gently to mix the surfactant in. Pump up the sprayer to build pressure. Start at the bottom of the wall and work your way up. This prevents streaking because you're not dripping concentrated solution over already wet areas. Spray an even coat across the surface. You're not trying to saturate it like you're painting. You're trying to get good coverage so every area of growth gets chemical contact. Now, here's the magic part. You wait. 30 seconds to 2 minutes depending on how heavy the growth is. Just stand there and watch what happens. The green starts turning white. The black streaks start fading. The organic matter is being oxidized in real time right in front of your eyes. You're watching cellular walls collapse at a molecular level. For light to moderate growth, you don't even need to rinse. The next rain will wash away the dead residue naturally. For heavier accumulations, or if you want immediate cosmetic results, you can rinse with a regular garden hose at normal household water pressure. Maybe 40 to 60 psi. No pressure washer needed. The organic matter is already dead and breaking down. It wipes away with minimal water pressure. A typical 2,000 square foot house takes about 20 to 30 minutes to spray completely. The chemical does the work while you're moving to the next section. By the time you've sprayed the entire house, the first section you started with is already visibly clean. This isn't theory. This isn't experimental. This is proven chemistry that's been understood for over 200 years, applied with tools you can buy at any hardware store for less than $50 total investment, using a chemical that costs less than a gallon of milk per application. This shift is happening in 2026 because it has to happen. The economic pressure on households has reached a breaking point. People can't afford to keep paying hundreds of dollars for services that replace $3 worth of chemistry. The margin between surviving and drowning financially is getting thinner every year. The industries threatened by information like this don't just compete in the marketplace. They compete in the information space. They will try to discredit videos like this one. They'll plant comments claiming the methods are dangerous or don't work properly. Watch for it. Recognize it for what it is, economic protectionism disguised as consumer protection. Share this video. Not because I need the views. Share it because every person who learns this is one less customer supporting an industry built on engineered ignorance. Share it because the knowledge itself is an act of economic resistance. The $3 solution to the $500 problem exists. You've learned it. You can't unknow it. Now make sure someone else learns it too. Subscribe for more investigations into industries that profit from your lack of chemistry knowledge, like this video. Comment with your experience. The chemistry doesn't lie. The corporations do. Choose who you trust.